Hey, good afternoon, Justice Warriors. It's President's Day still, and I just got a few notes from my live this morning that I wanted to share. I first want to say that everything I say is simply my opinion. It's simply a jumping off point, trying to start a conversation, opening up a discussion, hopefully, where I can learn and hoping that it's of educational value to others as well. My videos are all made specifically YouTube, and as we all know, YouTube is an entertainment platform. So, I heard on the streets of YouTube this morning that the CEO of YouTube just stepped down after 9 years. So, I don't know about all that. But YouTube was doing a bunch of funky stuff during the live, and I was like, well, they're probably on national holiday. Oh, wait, the CEO just left and they're on national holiday? No wonder. Okay, it all makes sense. So, nothing with this Idaho 4 case makes sense. And every time I dig in to find verification for some of these things that don't add up, like the ages of the two survivors, Dylan and Bethany, are they 19? Are they 20? Are they 21? I've heard that they're all three of those ages, but I'm pretty sure they can only be one or two of them at a time. But also there was the age of the Corporal Brett Payne, who wrote the affidavit that was said he was 26, and he's not. He's actually 32. So why all the misinformation? Is it simply by error, by mistake? Because I don't think that people would be that sloppy when it comes to a capital case like this. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, every time I dig, I find more crap than I ever set out to find. So, the Pullman Police Department, that police chief from the Pullman Police Department resigned, and then he's over at Wazoo PD holding down the fort there since their entire command staff was resigned this last summer before Matthew Kurt was finally resigned November 1st for whatever shenanigans he'd been pulling for years. So there was a guy that was accused and convicted of sexual assault who was a sergeant for the Pullman Police Department as recently as 2018 was when it happened. An 18-year-old, a freshman. So Police Chief Jenkins was the police chief over there at Pullman when that happened. And then he's the police chief over here at Wazoo when they're finally able to get rid of Matthew Kurt. Finally, after 2 years plus, after he got everybody above him fired. But anyway, let's get on with the show. Um, you know, there's a lot going on with this. Just in the last less than 24 hours, a small YouTuber named Justin came out with a video saying that he's trans and that he's got all this information about Dylan. And Harsh Reality did a video about it. And so a lot of people have been doing videos about it just today, just this morning, including myself. So it was a week ago today, this Justin says, that Dylan was beaten up by 4 people. 3 of the 4 were allegedly perps the night of the terrible, tragic, epic quadruple slaughter, and one of them was just a ride along or something. I don't know. Anyway, looking at the 10 minutes roughly alleged that it is said that these 4 unalivings occurred in is really impossible to wrap your mind around with one perp, in my humble opinion. So what's real versus what's BS? All we can do is our own research and weigh it out for ourselves and decide for ourselves what we think is right, what we think is not right, and keeping an open mind, knowing that sometimes we're incorrect, sometimes we get fooled, sometimes we are correct, and sometimes we don't get fooled. You can fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Anyway, one of my biggest peeves about this whole case is why we can't get a precise time on the DoorDash delivery. We know that the DoorDash delivery driver has a precise time, and we know that the doorbell cams, the Ring doorbells from the neighbors, would have the precise time. So why in the affidavit does it say around 4, or I think the actual word is approximately 4? It's one of those. Anyway, we need specifics. We need specifics, especially in an affidavit. So that's just crazy. No red stuff is mentioned in the affidavit, people. No red stuff is mentioned in the affidavit, except for a latent shoe print of a Vans tennis shoe sneaker that was right in front of Dylan's room that confirms her entire story. That shoe print, that latent shoe print, confirms her entire flimsy story that she can barely string together, that she keeps changing. It's all confirmed by the Vans latent shoe print. Okay? In case you were wondering. Anyway, the absence of the red stuff in the affidavit to me is extremely suspicious, very conspicuous. And then that whole house like oozing with the red stuff, also very conspicuous, to say the least. Anyway, how many people in this story are driving white Hyundai Elantras? Everyone? Does everybody in this story drive a white Hyundai Elantra? Or maybe a white King Cab pickup truck? Anyway, it's important not to rush to judgment when it comes to things like this Justin character coming out with this video. He says he may have an interview with Dylan the day after tomorrow, allegedly, in his video. And in my community post that I did this morning, I have a link to Harsh's video from this morning, and Harsh has a link in his video to Justin's video. So anyway, I'm of the opinion that people cleaned up that crime scene in the 8 hours that was the delay from the time that things allegedly happened until 911 was called. I am certain of my opinion that people cleaned up the red stuff. But I'm really curious about our Brentkopaka, the guy who was shot by the SWAT team on December 15th of 2022. Was he actually the information technology guy for the University of Idaho? I still don't know. I really think we need to know. Hopefully, within the next 2 months, the SWAT team incident report will be released by the state of Idaho. We shall see. And, if he was in charge of the IT for the University of Idaho, and just that coincidence of the blackout of the internet during the time that these unalivings were occurring, things that make you go, right? One of the viewers on my channel, the Imprint, she has her own channel and she's fabulous. Check her out, sub to her channel if you like her. I really like her personally. And she shared something. She said she's going to do a video upcoming about this last year when she almost got kidnapped in a Walmart parking lot. Is that so freaking crazy? So be careful, especially be careful of white vans, especially be careful of parking lots, and especially Walmart parking lots, unfortunately. Even with their surveillance, we still got to be extremely careful. So Madison Mogan's room is right above Dylan's room, which would mean that there was a lot of noise up there. When Dylan said she thought she heard Kaylee playing with the dog, I can't imagine. I know a lot of people have been saying this lately. I can't imagine that playing with a dog would be confused with people getting hacked and slaughtered. Just can't imagine. So, um, you know, this whole case reeks of a cover up to me and to a lot of people. None of it adds up. I feel like I've gone into it with an open mind. I've taken things at face value. I've trusted the authorities. I've trusted law enforcement. I've trusted the party line narrative, and it's not holding up. It is not holding water. It's falling apart. Absolutely. Xana and Ethan were both awake when this horrible incident happened. That kind of says there had to be more than one person, in my opinion. Um, anyway, what else do I want to put into this short Cliff Notes before I wrap it? Oh, please hit that like button, share and subscribe if you'd be so kind. And, we know that Kaylee was going to Austin, Texas for a high-tech marketing job. We don't know the company that she was hired with, but we do know that she had worked with them recently. So I think she was like an intern there or something. So I'm just curious. My own curiosity is if it has anything to do with the OnlyFans. That's just my own suspicious curiosity. Um, but you know, remember the lost jobs at WSU Police Department. Remember the fact that this horrible, horrible guy who couldn't keep it in his pants, Matthew Kurt, was only relinquished from that position of being a sergeant at Washington State University Police Department November 1st, 12 days before these four people were slaughtered. Just keep that in mind, okay? He had also gotten all of his supervisors fired or resigned, however you want to say it, this last summer. And that's when Chief Jenkins came in to save the day and resigned himself from Pullman Police Department, where we now know that this other police officer was assaulting an 18-year-old and being charged criminally. Ah, these people. I can't keep up. I don't want to keep up. It's a nightmare, isn't it? Anyway, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to be doing a live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. sharp. I'm going to be done by 10 a.m. because I'm going to watch Drip Drop Crime Circus live about Brentkopaka. I'm so curious what he has to say on that case, that angle of the case. I'm so happy that he's doing that. So have a great afternoon. Make sure you stay hydrated, get your exercise, get your nutrition. Eat lots of high protein and fruits and veggies. And usually you should try to eat minimum 9 a day, you guys. It's a lot higher than we've been told. 9 servings of produce every day, twice as many veggies as fruit. But the more the merrier. So on that, peace out. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I hope to see you in the morning. Thanks so much for watching.